Welcome to Everything Fear. Today we're going to be looking at my personal top 5 horror movies of the year 1986. Hello and welcome to Everything Fear, your one-stop shop for all things horror. I'm Kit Tinsley, I'm a horror author, film academic and general horror geek. If you enjoy this video, if you could please subscribe, give us a like and maybe tickle that bell icon to be notified when we upload future content, that would be great, thank you. Today is episode 9 in our series A Life in Horror. In this series, I look at my personal top 5 horror movies of every year that I have been alive. And today it is the turn of 1986. Number 5, The Hitcher. The Hitcher is basically a movie that asks the question, what if the Terminator was human? And instead of having a specific mission, he just picked his victims at random. Comparing Rutger Hauer's character of John Ryder to the Terminator seems logical. They are both seemingly unstoppable killing machines. The difference is, where the Terminator has the coolness of a machine, Ryder has the cold, sadistic nature of a psychopath. Part road movie, part chase movie, part serial killer movie, and part slasher. The Hitcher is as powerful today as it was back in 1986. Number 4, House. In the slasher-heavy landscape of the horror genre in the 1980s, it took a very special kind of haunted house movie to become a hit. It either had to have the Spielberg shine of something like Poltergeist, the sheer brilliance of a movie like The Changeling, or the absolute batshit craziness of House. The story of a horror writer dealing with the disappearance of his young son and his own demons as a Vietnam vet. William Katz's character Roger Cobb moves into his aunt's house after her apparent suicide. Soon he's embroiled in one of the strangest haunted house movies ever. The house is full of strange creatures and portals. The film perfectly balances its horror, its humour and its weirdness into a movie that is incredibly entertaining and unendingly rewatchable. Number 3, Poltergeist II, The Other Side. Coming 4 years after the original, this movie feels very much like a direct sequel to the original movie. Though not written by Steven Spielberg or directed by Tobe Hooper, the look and the feel of this film match up very well to the first movie, unlike the third movie that took things far too far away from the source material. Poltergeist 2 finds the Freeling family from the first movie still fighting insurance companies to get the money for their disappeared house. Her experiences in the first movie have awakened a latent psychic ability within young Carol Ann. After the death of her grandmother, this ability attracts the spirits from the original movie into their new home. With more backstory into the original hauntings, the addition of Native American spirituality, and the creepiest old man ever put on film in the form of Kane, the beast from the original movie, this is an amazingly entertaining sequel. Number 2, The Fly. David Cronenberg's 1986 remake of the 1958 horror movie The Fly is a masterpiece of body horror. Whereas the original was quite campy, Cronenberg used the concept to make a movie that explored the idea of the body being destroyed by disease. Partly an allegory for cancer, partly an allegory for the AIDS epidemic that was happening at the time. With some truly groundbreaking special effects and great performances from both Jeff Goldblum and Geena Davis, Cronenberg constructs a powerful and intelligent and incredibly disturbing horror movie. Definitely up there with The Thing as the best remake ever made. Number 1, Aliens. Though arguably less of a horror movie than the first film, Aliens still contains one of cinema's scariest ever monsters. Also, the way it focuses more on action than horror is one of its strengths. It was a really clever move on James Cameron's part. He chose to take it in another direction and make it his own, rather than simply rehashing the original movie. The film expands on the character of Ellen Ripley, feminising her more than the original did by showing her to be a mother. However, it also made her even more of a badass, especially when those mama bear instincts kicked in. The entire cast is fantastic, and every character has an individuality and their own arc. The introduction of the Alien Queen is superb, a truly breathtaking creature design, and also a fierce mama bear that leads to that epic showdown between the Alien Queen and Ripley. Though I always felt that the movie made the aliens seem less indestructible than they were in the original movie, this is a small price to pay for what is still arguably the best ever horror sequel. Well, that was my top 5 horror movies of 1986. What are yours? Let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, stay scared and stay tuned.